In a quiet cul-de-sac on the outskirts of Reading, where red brick houses stood shoulder to shoulder beneath weeping willows and the hum of distant motorways faded into birdsong, lived Emily and her mother, Claire. Their home was modest but immaculate, cream walls, well-worn rugs, and a kitchen that always smelled faintly of Earl Grey and lemon polish. It was a house built on routine, mutual respect, and unspoken expectations. One of those expectations: if you use the laundry room, you finish the job. Emily, 20 years old and freshly back from her second year at university, wore her independence like her favorite outfit. A deep emerald green wrap dress that cinched at the waist and fluttered slightly when she walked. To her friends in London, she was effortlessly cool, sharp in seminars, bold at parties, always the one with the perfect comeback. But at home, away from the curated chaos of student life, she sometimes slipped into old habits, leaving mugs on the coffee table, forgetting to take out the bins, and, most persistently, neglecting the laundry. It had started innocently enough. A pair of sweaty gym leggings tossed into the washer after a late-night run. A sequin top from a house party, stained with red wine, shoved behind the detergent bottles, just for now. She told herself she'd move it to the dryer after her essay, after her nap, after her call with her best mate, Jess. But later never came. The damp clothes sat. The mildew bloomed. And the washing machine began to emit a faint, sour odor that no amount of vinegar could fully mask. Claire, a practical woman in her late 40s with silver threading through her dark bob, had noticed immediately. She believed in order not as control, but as care, a way of showing love for shared space. She'd mentioned it twice already, gently but firmly. "Emily, love," she'd said one morning over toast, "if you're going to use the machine, please move your things to the dryer. And don't hide them like they're contraband." Emily had nodded, mumbled "sorry, Mum," and gone back to scrolling through her phone. But on a gray Tuesday in October, with rain tapping softly against the windows and the kettle whistling in the kitchen, Claire opened the laundry cupboard and found more than mildew. Buried beneath a heap of forgotten towels, still damp, slightly discolored, was Emily's green dress. It was crumpled, folded haphazardly as if tossed in shame. The sight struck Claire not with anger, but with a quiet sorrow. This wasn't just about laundry. It was about respect. The tone left no room for debate. Emily, lounging on her bed in oversized sweatpants and a university hoodie, felt her stomach drop. She knew. She found her mother in the narrow laundry room, arms crossed, jaw set. Fluorescent light glinted off the stainless steel of the dryer. The air smelled of bleach, damp cotton, and something faintly sour, the ghost of forgotten loads. "I found your dress," Claire said, voice low but steady. "Again. Hidden. What, for 2 days? Do you have any idea what mildew does to fabric? To the machine? To us." Emily shifted her weight, defensive. "It's just laundry, Mum. Not a crime." Claire's eyes narrowed. "It's not about the dress. It's about respect. This house isn't a hotel. You live here. You share it. And hiding your mess like a child doesn't make you an adult. It makes you irresponsible." "I've got exams," Emily snapped, crossing her arms. "I'm tired. I'll sort it later." "Later never comes," Claire said softly. "And you've been warned. Twice." A silence stretched between them, thick with tension. Rain pattered against the window above the sink. Somewhere in the house, a floorboard creaked. Then Claire took a breath, her expression softening just slightly, but her resolve hardening. "If you're going to act like a child avoiding consequences," she said, "then you'll be treated like one." Emily's eyes widened. "You can't be serious." "I am." Before she could protest further, Claire guided her gently but firmly to the edge of the dryer. "Lean over." Emily hesitated, face burning. At 20, she hadn't been spanked since she was 12, after she'd lied about breaking a neighbor's window. She'd outgrown that, hadn't she? But something in her mother's voice, the disappointment, not anger, made her obey. Slowly, she bent forward, gripping the cool metal edge of the dryer. Her green dress rode up slightly at the back, revealing the waistband of her simple cotton knickers. The first spank landed with a sharp thwack. Not brutal, but firm, undeniably real. Emily gasped, more from shock than pain. "Every time you hide your mess," Claire said, delivering another, "you disrespect this home." Thwack. "Every time you ignore my words," another, steady and controlled, "you disrespect me." Thwack. Emily's breath hitched. Tears pricked her eyes, not just from the sting, but from the weight of her own negligence. She thought of her mum folding her school uniforms when she was little, of her staying up to mend torn hems, of her quietly rewashing loads when Emily forgot during GCSEs. And here she was, treating it all like an inconvenience, like her mother's time and effort were infinite, invisible. By the sixth spank, her shoulders were shaking. By the eighth, she was crying softly into her arm, her green dress wrinkled beneath her. Claire stopped. She placed a warm hand on Emily's back, rubbing slow circles. "I'm not punishing you because I'm angry. I'm doing it because I love you too much to let you grow into someone who avoids responsibility." Emily turned, tears streaking her cheeks. "I'm sorry, Mum. Really sorry. I didn't mean. I just got lazy. I thought it didn't matter." "It matters," Claire said gently, pulling her into a hug. "Because this house matters." "What matter?" That evening, long after the rain had stopped and the streetlights cast golden pools on the wet pavement, Emily returned to the laundry room. She rewashed the mildewed load with extra vinegar and baking soda. She hung her green dress carefully on a padded hanger to air dry. She wiped down the shelves, organized the detergent bottles by size, and even cleaned the lint trap in the dryer, something she'd never done before. Then she took a small notepad from the kitchen drawer and wrote, "Sorry for hiding my mess. Won't happen again. Love, M." She left it on the counter beside the fabric softener. The next morning, Claire found the note. She smiled faintly, tucked it into the recipe box beside her favorite scone recipe, and put on a fresh pot of tea. When Emily came downstairs, hair still damp from the shower, Claire handed her a mug. "Your dress looks nice on the hanger," she said simply. Emily nodded. "It'll be ready to wear by tonight." They sat in comfortable silence, steam curling from their cups. Outside, the sun broke through the clouds, glinting off puddles and wet leaves. In modern British households, especially in multi-generational or shared living arrangements, expectations around domestic responsibility remain a quiet but powerful thread in family dynamics. While physical discipline is increasingly rare among young adults, some families still uphold traditional consequences, not as punishment, but as a symbolic reset, a way to restore balance when respect has been eroded. For Emily, the lesson wasn't about fear. It was about seeing her mother not just as a provider, but as a person who deserved care in return. And for Claire, it wasn't about control. It was about ensuring her daughter carried integrity into adulthood, one folded towel at a time, sometimes even at 20. A moment of humility in a fluorescent-lit laundry room can stitch a little more closeness into the fabric of a family. And sometimes, all it takes is a green dress and the courage to stop hiding.